You're looking at the best there
Austin
is.
316.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
You will rest in peace.
This is WWE Wrestling Legend Hall of Famer Tito Santana, and you are listening to the Source Wrestling Podcast. Arriba!
What an introduction to this episode we have. Thank you to WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana, the Matador, for the shout out. And we'd like to welcome you guys. We'd like to welcome you back. We are back for episode 15 of the Source WWE AEW All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe
And
Mike.
Yeah.
Let us talk to ya. Today, it is a big episode. We're coming off a really good one, so we got to keep the momentum going. This is going to cover AEW Revolution 3/3/24, WWE Monday Night Raw 3/4/24, WWE NXT 3/5/24, and to cap it all off, AEW Dynamite 3/6/24. Let us talk to you. We're starting with Revolution now. AEW Revolution, Sting's final match, the pay-per-view. Really big stuff here. To open it up, we open up in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Greensboro Coliseum for Revolution. Opening match of the night is the TNT Championship match. Champion Christian Cage defending against Daniel Garcia. And I'm into Daniel Garcia right now. I don't know if he has...
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I don't know if he has to do that dance that he keeps doing. I don't know that he has to do that. But I'm a big fan of his in-ring work. Needless to say, this match was pretty dope, especially for the opener. I wasn't expecting a title match to open the show, so that was cool. Lots of back and forth action here. Christian Cage whipping some ass. Daniel Garcia returning the favor. And you had to know, though, with the patriarchy, Nick Wayne, Kill Switch, that people were going to get involved. And unfortunately, that is what happened. And the father, Christian Cage, retains his title unjustifiably with the help. It's always help with him. And, you kind of had a feeling.
Dirty fighter.
Yeah, and you kind of had a feeling anyway going into this because Adam Copeland's hurt. And, Daniel Garcia was it was next man up mentality. But your winner of this match, Christian Cage, and still TNT champion. And rolling on, we go backstage really quick before the next one. It's Lexi Nair. She's backstage with American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, asking, what this match means to him. And he doesn't really have anything to say. He's too focused on this Continental Crown Championship match. And he just walks out, and Eddie Kingston does the same exact thing. Similar comments, not much to say. And
it's usually always the same.
Yeah,
with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's not much different stuff.
No, straight street dude for sure. But Kingston's focused, and he heads out to the ring as well. And this match goes underway. The second match of Revolution. It's the AEW Continental Crown Championship match. Eddie Kingston defending against Bryan Danielson. And I will say this match was an absolute banger. I was very entertained. Both guys laid it all on the line. We had chops galore, slaps, kicks, you name it, man.
I thought there might have been a chance that Eddie Kingston dropped.
Right.
But,
yeah, because this is Bryan Danielson here. We can't take anything away from him. Very incredible professional wrestler. And, we got to give him all the props we can. It ends up, though, somehow, some way, Eddie Kingston wins this match and retains that Continental Crown Championship just when you thought it was going to slip out of his hands. The underdog, the Mad King, the King of the Bums comes out with a victory. And now, because of this, Bryan Danielson has to shake his hand after that match, and he did not want to do that. We were wondering if it was even going to happen. It did end up happening, and the crowd popped like a motherfucker for it. I'm just saying. Great match.
Big pop.
Yeah, still your Continental Crown champion, Eddie Kingston. Next, third match of the night, we have our All-Star Scramble match. The winner earns a future AEW World Championship match. I would assume of their choosing, I don't know, time permitting, but it's kind of like the Money in the Bank. They get their guaranteed match whenever they want it, is what I'm assuming. This match included Chris Jericho, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, and CMLL's Magnus. Also, Dante Martin, who made his way in. Extremely big lineup. I really liked seeing Wardlow and Chris Jericho go at it here because of that big promo battle they just had.
It almost seemed like Tony Khan was like, hey, for Revolution, everybody's wrestling tonight.
Yeah, everybody.
No one's getting the night
everybody.
off.
And they also had, which we didn't
Except
cover.
for MJF.
Yeah, except for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. They also had a pre-show where some other matches happened too, but we just don't have a lot of time because we have a lot of things to cover today. So this All-Star Scramble, it's going well. A lot of big spots. Jericho and Wardlow going at it, and Powerhouse Hobbs had some dominating moments as well. Brian Cage looked cool. I think he had some kind of Tekken-inspired gear going on. And, then you had Dante Martin, who you didn't think would be in this match. And they all showed up to play. I will say that we had some close ones, some close moments. But in the end, I was rooting for Jericho. It ended up being Wardlow winning this match, who is now the #1 contender for the AEW World title. And when will he get that shot? We'll have to find out.
Yeet.
And speaking of yeet, the next match, we have freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong, who we don't care about. We don't care about them.
But they got some kind of storyline going, and they got to fulfill it. So
the whole Undisputed Kingdom thing is not really vibing with me. I'm not into it. Literally, as soon as we found out Adam Cole was the devil, that was the end of it for me. They should have just deaded it there because he was hurt anyway. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not working for me. Needless to say, championship match, international champion, Orange Cassidy is defending, and he's been on a hell of a run. I can't say it enough because how much I respect his work and what he's doing, and he came close here. Roddy Strong pulled out some decent stuff that I didn't think he had in him, and they obviously got some plans for him. We saw all Orange's best shots here, and it just wasn't enough. I don't know if they're going with the whole he's tired, he hasn't stopped wrestling type vibe here, but Roderick Strong hits that end of heartache and actually pins Orange Cassidy. We all cry. The International Championship is now in somebody else's hands.
What a bonehead move by AEW.
Did not like
I know
this.
I'm that guy always, but I mean, come on.
Did not like this.
Orange Cassidy, unless he's going for a world title run, or maybe he'll go for the TNT, I don't know, but he's not ready for, I love him, and I think he's an A-plus talent,
awesome.
I do.
He's awesome.
But I don't think he is in the world title realm.
No, there's way too
especially
many.
because they only have one world title.
They have one world title.
It makes it a little more complicated over there.
It does. It does. Guys got to fall in line and wait their turn. But if they want to start building him up, I can see it. But I still wanted to... I wanted him to continue on with this international championship run.
Yeah.
Now his backpack's empty, Mike.
Yep,
His
backpack's
backpack is empty.
He's looking to fill it with gold.
Yeah.
What will it be? Because that was said. So they said that he was looking to fill it with some gold. So.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Undisputed Kingdom's Roderick Strong is your new international champion for now. And as the Kingdom is celebrating, after taking down Orange Cassidy, we have a surprise return, and it's Kyle O'Reilly.
Whoopity-doo.
Whoopity-doo. We're not going to acknowledge much of that because was not a fan of his WWE run. Didn't really see much there, but, AEW just loves ex-WWE guys so much when they have all this good talent there. They bring this guy back. It seems like he's returning to maybe join the Undisputed Kingdom. We don't know. And, that's going to be the end of that segment. And we hope Orange Cassidy gets back to a championship run once again. Next up, we have another certified banger. It's the BCC Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus FTR, Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler. What a match, Mike. These guys finally got their moment. They had this tag match. I believe it was on either Dynamite or Collision.
It was a good match.
I watched so much wrestling that it all is just blurred together. But they had this tag match, and they ran out of time. There was a time limit. They now got to make this right and, get some justification out of that. And what a match. You want to talk tag team wrestling. This match was the definition of tag team wrestling. All these big double moves, a lot of tag team offense, lots of kickouts where you thought it was over a million times. And, we got to see the Shatter Machine, the Doomsday Bulldog, you name it, they pulled it out. This match, I kind of didn't know who to cheer for. I love me some FTR, but also BCC is legit. It was a very hard one.
I lean towards FTR personally.
Yeah, the Living Legends, the top guys.
Yeah, they just do it for me. They're original.
Yeah, they're legit, man. And
top new talent. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And Moxley and Claudio, they're already well beyond established. Let's let FTR shine a bit here. The end of the match, Dax is fighting Claudio off, sliding back into the ring. They're going back and forth with Mox, and we see the Death Rider for the cover, but Hardwood pulls out a counter into a pin, and that was a near fall of his own. Cash Wheeler then tries to intervene as Mox then goes for that Bulldog choke. But he's cut off by Claudio. Claudio takes Dax out, and Dax was a mess. He was a bloody mess. You were kind of concerned for him.
Surprising amount of blood in this match.
Surprising. Dax is a bloody mess, and now Mox has got this Bulldog choke, and Dax is out. Ref calls for the bell. You're winners. You're winners of this match via submission. Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli.
And that's how you would expect it to end with them. The
Right.
Blackpool Combat Club, the very MMA sounding, very
Yes.
It's the style they got
Yeah,
going.
they
Of course,
gotta-
they
they
would
gotta
win on a
go-
submission.
Gotta
It
go in
makes
a
sense.
submission, make
Sure.
somebody tap out, pass out. The 1-2-3 is just not enough for them. Props to both teams. I know it's got to be an adrenaline rush to be out there and have a tag team match like that. Shout out to BCC and also the top guys. Your winners, Blackpool Combat Club. Next match of the night is your AEW Women's World Championship. It is Deonna Purrazzo versus AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm.
It's finally happening.
Yes.
So that we don't have to deal with this anymore.
No more Deonna Purrazzo.
We hope.
So Deonna comes out, has her entrance, and then Toni Storm's music hits, and then it's this is weird. It's Mariah May coming out dressed as old school Toni Storm because Deonna said she wanted that old Toni Storm, to bring that mentality for this match. So
That
she
was
comes
cool.
out.
At first, I couldn't tell if it was Toni Storm. At
They
the very first moment, and then I
very
realized
similar. She looked just like Toni. Then Toni ends up coming out, and
normal.
Yeah, yep. It was a rib, and this match was dope. Gotta say, Deonna took it to Toni, but Toni is the champion for a reason. She handles her business. She's got movies to make. She's got interviews in Hollywood. She has no time for anybody like this, and Timeless Toni Storm, she hits the break leg. Every move was pulled out here, and it wasn't enough for quite a while. And, it ends up being Mariah coming in on the distraction a little bit. Toni hits that pile driver, spikes her right on her head. 1, 2, 3, and still AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. And after that, this is a match that I was waiting for. I was on the edge of my seat for this match. This is a hell of a match, in my opinion. It stole the show for the entire pay-per-view. This is Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, versus Konosuke Takeshita. And this match, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stars. I don't care what it is. This match was one of the coolest and greatest matches that I have ever seen. Thank you, Tony Khan, for getting Will Ospreay and Takeshita.
I think my take on
what
it
a match.
is basically it's the quickness of the moves, it's the fluidity of the
everything,
moves.
everything.
It's literally A+ wrestling from Ospreay. Tightness, just the right amount of high flying, whatever you need to see.
Everything is there.
But it's very fast moving, flowing.
Oh yeah,
that's what I would say.
There were many times in this match where the entire crowd was on their feet. They didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? They want Ospreay to win this thing so bad, but Takeshita is just that thorn in his side that doesn't go away. I remember at one point there was this like turnbuckle brainbuster where I thought Ospreay wasn't getting up from. I don't know how long your career is going to be taking moves like that. That looked like it could have been seriously devastating.
It was.
He gets back up and continues the match. They keep going and going, and all these wild moves, all these wild kickouts. Multiple "this is awesome" chants in this match. And Mike, I think there was a moment. What was the moment in this match where it was like they were both just laid out, and everyone gets off their feet, and in the middle of a match, you've never seen this. What happened?
Just in the middle of the match, at a point of the match where I feel like everybody was like, wow, I can't believe we're at this point. I can't believe we've seen what we've seen. Everybody just stands up on their feet in the arena and applauds them in the ring before the match is even done or anything.
Right.
Just a great moment.
Right. Awesome moment. I don't remember the last time I've ever seen that happen, so that was pretty intense, I gotta say. Needless to say, the match then continued to just thrive after that. We saw the hidden blade from Ospreay, and the dude just kicks out at one after the hidden blade, and that was just unbelievable. What I also thought was really cool was that Will Ospreay, I don't know if you guys know this, or Mike, I don't know if you know, Will Ospreay was a big AJ Styles fan as a kid growing up. That was his hero. He ends up hitting that Styles Clash on Takeshita as an ode to his hero type thing. I thought that was cool. Got a near fall. It wasn't over there. We had the Tiger Driver 91, followed by the Hidden Blade, and Ospreay wins this match 1-2-3. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Your winner, the Aerial Assassin, Will Ospreay. And next up, we have the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, the three-way match. It's champion Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland, Swerve's house. And
it's going to be a banger with these three,
For sure. And Hangman Adam Page. And I thought it was really cool that they got Jim Ross out there for commentary starting here at this match with this three-way world championship match. And what a match it was. Swerve had some really, really good moments here where you started to second guess if Samoa Joe was going to come out of this and still be world champion. It was very close all the way around. Doesn't even need to be said how Swerve and Hangman went at each other because they have that major, major rivalry, and I don't even think that's done. We saw everything we wanted to see out of this match, particularly, except for our guy Swerve coming out as champion.
Now, let's not forget, I don't know, what you want to say on this, but he had the chance.
He did. He had a chance on that, and kind of let second judgment maybe get the best of him, I would say.
He had Samoa Joe right where he wanted him.
He did, and strangely enough, it turns into Hangman Page tapping out of this match. And did he tap out just to just give it to Swerve? So you know what? There's no way you can have this championship if I just tap out right now. I don't care about winning this championship
out of spite,
as much as I care about screwing you over to spite him. And Hangman has already had that championship, so this might continue with Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. Your winner via submission and still AEW World Champion Samoa Joe. And it's what you guys probably bought the pay-per-view for. Up next, it is Sting's last match, his farewell match, AEW Tag Team Championship Texas Tornado match. It's Sting and Darby Allin against the Young Bucks, which they're not really the Young Bucks right now. They're the EVPs. It's Matthew and Nicholas Jackson And we actually did cover this full match, really, really detailed coverage on episode 14, which we just released before this. And if you guys want to hear like a really, really in-depth look at Sting's last match, you can go back to episode 14 and check that out. But for those of you who have not heard that and maybe just be hearing us for the first time, I'll give you a quick run through. Sting comes out. Before he does, there's an amazing video package where he is in a cinema, he's in a theater watching all his big moments. His music hits. Both of his sons come out in old Sting attire. That was really cool. Sting comes out, and the music changes to Seek and Destroy by Metallica, which I thought that was really cool. And this match is everything you wanted from somebody's last match. They really did this the right way with Sting and Tony Khan. Props to them for how they got this match done. You had Sting's two sons throwing Stinger splashes. You had Darby with that amazing big ladder spot through the glass, and Sting himself going through glass. You had Steamboat out there. You had Flair. Really, really classy the way they did this. And the shocker here is that Sting goes out on top. He hits the Scorpion Death Drop. He locks in the Scorpion Death Lock for the final time. We will never see it again. Young Bucks are tapping out. You're a winner, and still and going out as the undisputed AEW Tag Team Champion, Sting. That's how you do it, folks. Very, very classy.
He went out the right way.
He did. Very classy.
Perfect match, perfect ending.
Everything.
Masterpiece, great cinema.
Yep.
Loved it.
10 out of 10 really was. And this is going to conclude the AEW Revolution portion of the show. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with us and sticking with us, but we are now going to move on to Monday Night Raw. And now this is Monday Night Raw 3/4/2024, the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas, and we are ready to go in 3, 2, 1. First segment of the night is probably the biggest segment of the night. It is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He comes out, he's asking San Antonio what they want to talk about, and it is obvious. We only want to talk about one thing. We want Cody's answer, Seth as well. We want Cody and Seth's answer for the Rock's challenge for this tag team match at WrestleMania Night 1. Cody's out there.
Cody introduces Seth, which I thought was great.
Yeah, Cody's out there at first.
I love the tandem, and I loved it even more seeing Cody literally introduce Seth Rollins out to the ring. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. They're out there talking about this promo The Rock put up on Instagram. Cody's kind of making fun of him, saying that he at first posted a 16-minute video, then deleted it. And 5 minutes later, we had that 21-minute director's cut. Cody said, cue Seth Rollins. He introduces him, and he's like, well, Mr. Nightmare, what are you thinking here? You know what I mean? And it's obvious. It's obvious what needs to be done. Seth is in Cody's corner, we hope.
Well, Cody pretty much, tells him right off the bat, hey, you don't have to do this. You got a title match to fight that night. The other three people in the match, Cody, The Rock, or the other two, I guess you could say, Roman and Cody, are already fighting both, so that doesn't really matter as much.
Exactly.
Whereas Seth is the only one involved in the match that does have another fight to fight.
Exactly.
And does that fight happen that same night of the tag matches?
Yeah, that is something we're wondering for sure.
I think that you see, Seth Rollins headline one night of WrestleMania, and then you have Cody and Roman headline the other. Right. And you have that, Bloodline Rules match, or Blood Tag Team, whatever it is, match. Yes. You'll have that in the middle of WrestleMania Day 1.
And it's going to be interesting for sure. So, like you said, Cody's saying, Seth, you don't have to do this, man. You have to defend your World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. It's not going to be an easy task. Rollins basically doesn't care. He wants to do this. He reassures Cody Rhodes that he has his back in this. There's only one way to take down the Bloodline, and he has to help him do it. He's his shield, if you will. Yep. And we get our answer. Cody and Seth, they accept the challenge, even though the stipulations can really, really hurt Cody here. They accept this challenge, and they then go on and say, hey, Bloodline, hey, Rock, we're coming to SmackDown this week, and we're going to see you face to face, so it's really going to be interesting to see that happen for sure. First match of Monday Night Raw, we have the Ring General, Gunther, your Intercontinental Champion, versus Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio. Did Dominic bite off more than he could chew here?
Hey, it's going to be a fun one to watch. That's all I knew going into it,
Absolutely, man. And, it was at times very, very one-sided, obviously.
Dominic had his moments, though, thanks to JD McDonough.
Yeah, thanks to JD. Dom hit Gunther at 2.5, and I was like, oh my God, is this dude actually going to beat Gunther right now?
There was a moment where JD McDonough, distracted on the side of the apron, which allowed Dominic to have a pretty good run outside the ring.
Yeah, very close, man.
And there was actually a point in there where he hit, he went up for the...
he hit the frog splash.
Well, he was going for it.
Gunther got the knees up. At the last second, he gets the knees up. I really
thought, wow, is this going to happen?
I know, and it was very close. Like I said, 2.5, 2 3/4, whatever you want to call it. He almost pinned the Ring General. Needless to say, this is the Ring General. Gunther then power bombs Rey Mysterio and makes him tap out to the Boston Crab, which I like how he just rotates his finishers. It's not always the same
keep it
finish.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not always the same.
I'll tell you,
finish.
I was watching some videos earlier of him when he was fat.
He
different, was still but he was still a brute. He was throwing people around, and
that was
the
Walter.
style was there.
Yeah, that was Walter. This is different now. This is Gunther, and like I said, he taps out Dirty Dom. Gunther is your winner via submission, and we move on to the next segment.
But before we do, let's just mention with Dominic Mysterio in the talks, he was recently married. I think yesterday or within the last few days, and it's Damian Priest was at the wedding. Yep. Rhea Ripley was spotted at this wedding. What a hot wedding to be at! And then you said that he actually got
Dominic Mysterio got booed at his own wedding during his speech. I thought it was only right. You know what I mean? His whole family, they must be all in on the joke, obviously.
Must have been an awesome wedding.
It had to be cool with all these.
If Ray was there.
Ray was there, obviously. Dominic's mom.
Couldn't show that on camera.
No, he didn't have the mask on. Dominic's mom was obviously there as well. He thanked the both of them, all of them. Yep, they were all there. His sister Aaliyah. Everybody was there. And picking up on what you said, Damian Priest was a groomsman. Also, Austin Theory was another groomsman, which I never knew that they were cool.
You never know how they get along backstage, I see a lot of that with Nia Jax. She really gets along with everybody.
She's hanging out with Tiffany Stratton a lot. I've seen that.
They seem to be besties right now.
They are.
I like that.
They definitely are.
They should do, I don't know if it would ruin things for them to do it, but I would love more, TV shows about the backstage stuff.
Yeah, we all want to see that. It kind of pulls the curtain back too much.
It pulls the curtain back. That's why you can't do it. But it would be so entertaining.
It would be so cool.
To look at it as a realist view and just be like, oh, wow, it's kind of interesting how these people are in reality.
Yeah, I just want to hang out in the locker room for a day, you know what I mean, and see how that goes. Anyway, we're going to move on. We now have a backstage segment. It's Adam Pearce. He's confronting Damage Control, and why are you guys even here? So on and so forth. Dakota is her claim to fame is they're only there to scout Zoe and Shayna's match, see if they're in the tag team title conversation type deal.
But clearly annoying that they're there. Adam Pearce is annoyed that they're there.
He's
like, oh, just observing. Just observing.
Yeah,
he
I
knows,
feel like Adam Pearce needs a drink after that one. He likes to say that.
Damage Control, go away.
I know.
Go, somebody end it. Please break the group up. Make a new Damage Controller. So I don't know what's going on, but I can't handle it
anymore.
Gotta
do something. They're already on my bad side with what they did to Bayley.
It's mainly Asuka.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since that little title run that she had where there was zero crowd reaction. They didn't boo. They didn't cheer. There was just nothing when she came out as champion.
Right.
It's like they should have just parted ways with her. There must be some kind of contract stipulation or something they see in her. Because send her off to AEW.
She's got some moves, but the whole her whole spiel is just not it right now. But after Pierce deals with damage control, Shinsuke interrupts. Pierce says that if Shinsuke's here to talk about Gunther's opponent,
which was an easy exit for damage control, they were like, "Oh, you're busy, we'll go." Yeah.
Peace. And Adam Pierce doesn't have to deal with them anymore either. So he says if if Shinsuke wants to talk about Gunther and the Intercontinental Championship, they can go do that in his office, and they exit. And which moves us on to that second match. It's Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Katana Chance and Caden Carter. We kind of have an idea how this was going to go with the submission magicians, Shayna Baszler.
I like the gimmick. I like that it's different. I like that they have, it's kind of like similar to we're going back to AEW with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, man.
Where it's more MMA style,
more
submissions
raw
and stuff.
MMA.
And they
Shayna Baszler
that.
was actually a professional fighter before a wrestler. So she has the credibility to do that.
They represent that. And, Zoe Stark is a brute,
Yeah, she is.
So it goes together really well.
It did.
I don't think this tag team will do much of anything, but it's a nice thing to have on the side.
It's good filler content. They have 3 hours to fill every week, and that can be really hard. The end of this match ends the way you expect it to. It's Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark picking up that win, and they're rolling now in the tag team division, and Dakota and Damage Control in tow. They come out, little bit of snickering back and forth, and Baszler says it's just about time for this, and that they'll see them next week. So your winners once again, Shayna and Zoe via pinfall.
And breaking news or rumor. I'm hearing a lot of rumors and seeing a lot of things about possibly the Rock concert.
We need it.
Coming back. March 15th episode of, I'd assume, SmackDown.
Yeah, it's got to be SmackDown. If anything,
the Rock
it's the Rock
supposedly
show.
Is going to do another Rock concert where he sings
he's got the
funny
acoustic
songs
guitar.
that put people down. And,
exactly. He's probably going to call people meth heads and crackheads once again. You can't have Hollywood Rock without a Rock concert. So, that is a really happens.
Hoping these rumors are true. Let's hope for it.
Let's hope for it, man. After
if so, you heard it first on the source.
Absolutely. Don't forget that now, or Tito Santana is going to come to your house.
Yep.
All right, but continuing on Raw, we now have the Judgment Day. They're in the trainer's room. They're checking on Dom. Damien's telling JD to go make things right with Gunther. Dominic, though, wants Damien to keep an eye on Andrade El Idolo because he could be a good addition to the Judgment Day. And that's interesting. Imagine Andrade.
I don't see it.
I don't know. Andrade's pretty good on his own, but just imagine if he would be a part of the Judgment Day. It's obviously interesting to think about.
I feel like they'd have to get rid of JD McDonough.
Yeah, might be a little bit too much, and JD the bobblehead can go. At that point. After this, we see Ricochet venting now outside of AP's office, and Pierce needs Ricochet to just trust him on this because he says he's got a plan that's going to satisfy not only the ring general Gunther, but everybody who's wanting a shot at that IC title at Mania. The Judgment Day then walks in, and Damian Priest demands that JD McDonough gets a shot at Gunther as well. Pierce tells McDonough to then, shockingly enough, give him a quick sales pitch. Next match, we have the irresistible force, the unstoppable force, Nia Jax versus the man, Becky Lynch, and you knew this match was going to be brutal, and it was. Big Time Bex really had it on lockdown. Nia Jax, though, she's not easy to put away.
No, it was back and forth.
Yeah.
You got Nia Jax with all her power moves. You got Becky Lynch with her speed and strength.
Yeah, she's using the speed and the agility to counter all of Nia Jax's strength. And, they both, hats off to them. They both had a really, really nice match. And, unfortunately, we don't get to see exactly who would be a true winner here because, we got Liv Morgan getting involved because of the altercations she's been having with Becky, and, that goes kosher. The whole match goes south, and Nia Jax takes the win via disqualification here, and that's how we get that finish. But now, because of this, Becky Lynch challenges Liv Morgan to a match next week, and she says Liv can continue to cry about her revenge tour.
As long as Liv doesn't get this 3-way title match at WrestleMania they're gearing towards, I'm cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
I don't want to see that. I want to see Becky versus Rhea.
Exactly, as it should be. And Liv then goes on to accept Becky's challenge. We see Rhea Ripley walk behind Becky Lynch. Rhea didn't say really anything at all. She just laughed at her. And we now move on to the Adam Pearce announcement. And this announcement is regarding Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, which is really, really prestigious right now. And all these guys, they want a shot at it. So Adam Pearce came up with a way to make everybody happy, really. And he comes out with a gauntlet match, okay? And it's going to include former Intercontinental champions such as Sami Zayn, Ricochet, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we also got some up-and-coming wrestlers that are going to be in this. Big Bronson Reed, JD McDonough.
Yes, sir.
And we can't forget about this last challenger who has pushed Gunther to the limit himself. It's the Master Chad Gable from Alpha Academy. We now know that the winner of this gauntlet match will move on and face Gunther at WrestleMania.
Now, we did discuss this in our last episode depth, so go back to 14, check that episode out. It's one of our best episodes we've done.
Awesome.
And we outline everybody that's going to be in this match and who our top favorites are and why.
Exactly. And moving on, fourth match of the night, it is Andrade El Idolo versus Apollo Crews, who we haven't seen in a while. They go for a handshake at the beginning of this match, and Crews just refuses to shake Andrade El Idolo's hand. So, that is how this starts. And Andrade is laying out some nasty offense during this match.
It was a pretty good match.
It wasn't bad.
I would say Andrade definitely dominated it front to back.
He did. He shined, man. Andrade, I'm glad they got him back. Loved him in AEW. I'm glad that he's keeping the same likeness and character, just like Cody Rhodes.
His move was pretty good.
Yeah, he hits that shotgun Meteora, and that is followed up with the Hammerlock DDT, which is a pretty cool finishing move for Andrade, and he picks up this win here on Monday Night Raw versus Apollo Crews.
Very interested to see where this goes with Andrade. You mentioned that Judgment Day is in play possibly.
Right.
I'd love to see him align himself with Escobar and that faction.
That would be really cool.
Really strengthen it. I see him fitting in more with the LWO or whatever they're calling.
Yeah, the LWO is another place he can land, or he can go with the Phantasma crew.
Yes, that's what it is.
Of Santos Escobar.
He just seems to fit it better, well dressed.
Yeah,
I feel like LWO is more kind of
chill,
loose and casual,
laid back. Yeah,
they're
wearing
cool things, this and that. Then you have Escobar and his people are very well dressed, suits,
ties.
I see that Andrade just fits that too well to not do it, and then all of a sudden you're making that whole faction, which is really going nowhere. No offense to them, they're going nowhere, that would really put it over the top.
Yeah, it would do something, and maybe Andrade can be the leader. Because he just has that dominating presence about him.
We went from having little factions to having so many factions right now. LWO, you mentioned this one with Escobar.
Yes.
We're talking about Bobby Lashley's faction.
Yep, exactly.
We're talking
what
about,
are they doing?
We
got Karrion Kross and AOP, right? The Final Testament.
There's so many right now.
There is a lot right now, yes.
How many will stay? I don't know.
But we're just going to continue on. We don't want to get too off track. We have the rest of the show to get through here, and we now have Jackie Redmond backstage with Sami Zayn, trying to pick Sami's brain about what's going through his mind now ahead of next week's gauntlet match. He's thinking about his entire journey. His confidence is low, but he's just saying that he believes he's going to go to WrestleMania and, make history, do something historic. That's what he needs. That's, it's just... it's been building up over these last few weeks with all the interviews with him, and he actually gets interrupted by one of the Viking Raiders, Ivar, who's aggravated that he's not, in contention for the Intercontinental Championship. So they decide, that Sammy can't beat Gunther. That's what Ivar from the Viking Raiders says. He says he can't beat him. But Sammy goes, he knows he can beat you, Ivar. So he challenges Ivar to that match. And he claims that Sammy won't have to worry about WrestleMania because he's not going to make it. Now we see Natalya, Tegan Nox, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile. They're all having a conversation backstage right now about the women's tag team division. They want their shot by any means. They're tired of waiting around is what they're getting at this little quick segment here, which then transitions into the final match of the night. It's the Judgment Day versus Imperium, and this should be a good one.
Yeah.
And we have a match packed full of really good wrestlers. You got the Judgment Day, you got Imperium, Gunther's lackeys, if you will, and these guys can go as well. So you kind of don't know which way this match is going to go. Is the Judgment Day going to continue to dominate here? Is Imperium going to stand up and fight and make the ring general proud? We don't know. And it ends up being what you would expect. It's the Judgment Day here. It was a close one, yes. But Damian Priest, he hits that South of Heaven chokeslam.
It was beautiful.
A thing of beauty, a work of art, the South of Heaven. You can count to 10. 1, 2, 3. You're winners of this match. It's the Judgment Day. Next up, we have Sami Zayn versus Viking Raider Ivar. Coming off their little heated argument in the back a little while before this, we now have a match for Sammy to prove himself against a really big opponent. And I just want to note, before we get into the match results, that Ivar comes out with Valhalla, okay? And, they're making their way to the ring, and Valhalla's at ringside. She then hops on the announce table and gives Michael Cole the antlers. It finally happens.
He's been talking about these antlers for about 5 months now.
I know, and the moment finally happens. It comes full circle for Michael Cole. She puts the antlers on him, and not only does the crowd pop, Michael Cole continues to call the match with the antlers on. His headset is off. He's just talking into the mic.
He might be calling his best wrestling with these antlers.
Yeah, we're getting the best Michael Cole for sure right now. He's not tied down. He gets to have fun. You can tell he's having fun with Pat McAfee out there. So that was cool. That was a really cool thing for him. Back to Sami Zayn and Ivar. It was a battle, yes. Sami Zayn, though, gets it done with the haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Your winner is Sami Zayn. And after this match, Big Bronson Reed shows up, and that's never a good thing. He drops Zayn with a big running body block, and then goes up top, and you know what's coming next. He hits that tsunami on Sami Zayn, and it's not looking good for him at all. And after this match, it's Kathy Kelly backstage. She's interviewing the ring general, the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, and he's actually given Dominic Mysterio some props, saying he was impressed by him. It was very close, but obviously, this is the ring general. It's not going to go down like that for sure. And he's also starting to talk about whoever it is that comes out of this gauntlet. It doesn't matter. They're just going to earn a spot to get humiliated and embarrassed at WrestleMania by the ring general. So, he's going into WrestleMania with full confidence. And here comes Chad Gable. And now this gets interesting. He's saying, he's sick of Gunther pushing people around. He wants to wipe that smile right off of Gunther's face and put it on his daughter's face. And this rematch would mean the most to Chad Gable is what he's getting at here.
He seems like he has the storyline that makes the most sense for him to win the Battle Royal.
But like you said in a previous episode,
Gunther,
how many matches has he had? Yeah. Like you mentioned before, how many shots?
Or maybe they just want us to feel that way.
Right. How many shots has he had?
If Sami Zayn doesn't win this Battle Royal, his road to WrestleMania looks impossible. So I'd say it has to be Zayn.
Yeah, if he doesn't win the gauntlet match, then it's got to be Sami.
I'm more hung up since our last episode on it. I'm more hung up between Chad Gable and Zayn right now. I don't know which way they're going to go.
I know. It's. I think it's a decent choice either way. Either way you look at it, you're going to get a quality WrestleMania Intercontinental title match. And spoiler alert, Gunther wins. That's what I'm going with. Gunther winning at WrestleMania. But now right before the main event, we have a little segment here where The Miz sees, I guess they're calling them Regeneration X or our Generation X right now. They're playing the new WWE 2K24 game backstage.
They actually referred to themselves as Regeneration X. They were playing with Xavier Woods.
X. They were playing with Xavier Woods, yeah. And I just want to say I'm loving the game so far. We both have it. Both of us have it.
We both have the WrestleMania edition.
Yes,
we both
went
got
in.
it and started. Well, I started playing it at midnight Monday into Tuesday.
I waited till the next day. I had to work.
I can
man.
stay up a little later than Joe can, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I actually woke up 6:30 the next morning before work and did my first match. It was a casket match. It was a lot of fun. Needless to say, go get the game.
I started my GM. I'm tearing my head out.
Loving
my hair
that.
out right now on that mode right now. It's a little harder than last year.
Yeah, this game is, they definitely amped it up with the difficulty. We love the game. Go pick up WWE 2K24 for sure. 7th match of the night, our main event. It is main event Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre, and we wonder what's going to happen here.
Now, Jey Uso was battling McIntyre. McIntyre holds his own. He does. Using his power, throwing around his power, all that kind of stuff. Jey Uso had a lot of great spots in this match. He looked great. He looked like he might be able to win this match in several different times in this match. But it all came down to interference, really. First, it was Solo coming out, and
of course, who else would it be?
All of a sudden, Cody's music hits. Actually, his music and all during the match, and he comes out and runs Solo, beats the crap out of Solo.
Gotta get rid of him.
Runs him all the way backstage, but then that leaves Jimmy. And I was personally upset. That's how I remember this so well right now. Is I was so upset that Seth didn't come down to take care of Jimmy.
Yeah, where was he?
Instead, Jimmy ends up distracting Jey Uso, and he ends up getting hit by a Claymore kick by McIntyre for the 1, 2, 3, and then it was a very fun after hours on Raw. McIntyre ends up going backstage. Cody comes back out. Rollins comes back out. They start signing stuff.
It's a mess.
They had Jey Uso take off one of his shoes and sign it and throw it into the crowd. He tries to throw it. It goes into the rafter and bounces down, and they made a comment on that. It was a really fun after hours.
Gotta love what they do after the show, for the kids and all the people in attendance.
Can't wait to go to a Raw soon because it seems Raw is a little more cool than SmackDown.
Definitely.
I feel. I don't know. It seems a lot more after hours stuff.
It does.
Happens there.
And the last Raw I went to, before we end the Raw segment, the last Raw I went to was me and my son. I went big. We got 4th row, and we actually got to see LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes, and it was a really, really good match. It was cool to see that in person before LA shot to super duper stardom. He was actually the heel here going against Cody. But this is going to end the Monday Night Raw segment of the Source Wrestling Podcast. Hang on tight as Mike is going to take you through a lightning round of NXT Roadblock. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
So NXT Roadblock kicks off with an amazing match right off the bat. They really treated us on this PLE, I guess you could call it.
It was.
It was a steel cage style match called an asylum match. There's weapons scattered throughout the ring, and there's a wooden mystery box in the ring as well. And it looked like one of those old school, like
a chest
Looney
of some sort?
No, Looney Tunes, TNT, wooden box. You know what I mean? It was really cool looking, honestly.
Nice.
Joe Gacy starts off with the fire extinguisher to the face to Dijak, which
of course he does.
Dijak pretty much battles back and throws his power around. But then Dijak goes to the mystery box, and out comes the spring-loaded boxing glove to hit him in the face.
What a classic gag, too.
Yeah, Gacy takes over, showing off a nice power move driver. Dijak climbs to the top of the cage and does a moonsault.
That was incredible.
Off the top of the cage onto Gacy, but he kicks out. Dijak puts Gacy in a straitjacket, sets up Gacy in the corner, top rope, but Gacy headbutts Dijak through a table.
Nasty.
And then Dijak kicks out. Dijak then duct tapes Gacy's face and eyes and beats him with a kendo stick. It was an interesting match. Dijak throws Gacy through a door. Dijak hits him with 2 feast your eyes for the 1, 2, 3 and gets the victory.
Match.
And is this rivalry, now over with? But it shoots right to backstage. It's the Don with the family, and Luca Cristofino walks in. we've been seeing around NXT the past few weeks. The Dawn offers him to be the consigliere, and Luca accepts. He says he has to accept right there.
Gotta
right,
make him an
I need
offer.
a
He
decision
can't
right
refuse.
now.
Yeah,
and
you
he
gotta
gives
do
him
it.
that decision. He accepts. He is now part of the family. So Luca Cristofino is now a member of the family, and now is the official consigliere of the family. Right to backstage, Fallon Henley, backstage with Riley Osborne, who obviously has been going on dates with Thea Hale, and there's that whole thing going on. They're talking about, how he was like, Thea Hale, it seemed like she wasn't even into me, and then Fallon Henley is pretty much like, well, we told her to, be hard to get, and she kind of took that and ran with it.
Gotcha.
But all of a sudden, Davenport pops into the picture, Blair Davenport.
Okay.
And they beef a little bit, and then Blair walks out, shoots now backstage to Tatum Paxley and Lyra Valkyria, and Lyra is laying it on very thick as usual that they are not best friends, and Tatum goes super dark and twisted after that, being like, we have to win this match so we can become one, and all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for
it,
sure.
Fades out to Lyra looking very bothered, and Tatum just kind of walking away, which was kind of interesting. But next up, we have the Wolf Dogs versus Chase U. Great tag team match. Great talent.
Great
I love
talent
Chase
in this
U.
match. Yeah, both
the Wolf
great
Dogs
teams.
are doing great. They come out, and they came out with Wolf Dog masks.
That is
on.
so cool.
They had their own Wolf Dog masks.
They
came
are
out
taking
with.
advantage of
They're
this,
riding it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
But from the start, Baron Corbin powers Andre Chase, then tags in Braun Breaker, who dominates Andre Chase. So Andre
He's a
Chase is
monster.
taking the brunt of this right off the bat. Braun Breaker shows off his speed again, does that full speed run against all the ropes, and then clotheslines him. He tags in Baron, and they perform a double team gut buster. But Duke Hudson finally gets tagged into the match and clears house in a rage.
He was waiting for that.
Andre Chase goes off the apron, taking out Braun and Baron. That was a pretty cool move. Then it was Braun Breaker with a huge hurricane off the top rope. Which
The
I thought
agility
was
of that,
really
dude.
cool. But Duke Hudson,
really cool.
once again, it was like rinse and repeat again. Duke Hudson gets tagged in, cleans house again, but then it all ended with Baron Corbin hitting his deep six on Andre Chase, followed by
That's
a
a tough
spear
move.
by Braun Breaker for the 1-2-3, and the Wolf Dogs continue their championship
So
run.
awesome. If I could just cut in real quick, the move by Braun Breaker, the Hurricane Rana, also used to be called the Frankensteiner when the Steiner brothers did it. So that's why he's pulling that off. And what a way to pay tribute to his dad and his
Little
uncle.
homage to his-
little homage.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What a match.
We love that. But, they're keeping it moving. They go to a Carmelo promo, and it's Carmelo backstage with his security guards. They're new security guards now. They are like SWAT team style security guards with their bulletproof vests on, with the pockets on them.
Yeah.
They're looking fresh. And he says he's not worried about the Dawn. He has new security team. He's ready for the title, and that means it's going to be his, and he is him. Next matchup, we pretty much have the debut of Shawn Spears, and obviously he's going against a jobber named Uriah Connors. It is total ass kicking by Shawn Spears, and he's hitting the C4 for the victory. After the match, he calls out Ridge Holland, talks trash about Ridge Holland.
You got to keep that, got to get
And
that
Ridge
going
Holland
now.
comes out and beats the crap out of Shawn Spears. But Shawn Spears kind of has that, like, I told you so look on his face.
Right.
He's pretty much saying that Ridge has a rage issue, and that he
can help him, maybe, help
pretty
him
much,
control
I don't know
this.
if he wants to help him or he's enjoying exploiting him or what's going on with that. But, the refs all come out and hold him back, and once again, Ridge is left looking like he's lost his cool, like he has
Once
a problem.
again,
They're really, I've been saying it for
into
weeks.
that.
They're really digging into this Ridge has a problem thing. But backstage, we now have Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs backstage, and Brooks is basically saying that he's in control of his life right now. That's why he's challenged Obafemi to a match. Obviously, Josh Briggs is like, I don't know if you know what you're getting into.
Right.
But he's confident. He wants Obafemi. He wants that shot, so he's going for
he's
it.
going
and that's
after
that.
it, for sure.
Then we go to Ilya Dragunov. He
man.
comments on Mello and the Dawn and how basically, doesn't matter who it is, Ilya Dragun's the man.
For sure.
whatever you
Dragunov's
wanna
the guy.
say. Stacks comes out as the underboss says the Dawn is making moves, and Tony D will be seeing him at Stand and Deliver.
Oh, and that is not a threat. It's a promise.
It's a promise. So next we have the Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley, her crazed fan tag partner now.
And it's working.
Tatum Paxley battles with both Kabuki Warriors, and she's putting up actually a pretty good fight in the match. But she ends up getting beat by both of them as well, needing to tag for somebody bad. That scenario we see all the time in tag matches. Yeah. And then finally, Lyra Valkyria enters. But then it cuts to backstage, and Thea Hale is fighting with Kiana James. It's like this crazy scene of them fighting. Not much is really said about it. Goes back to the match. Now we have Lyra and Tatum have, control of the match and take it to the Kabuki Warriors, hitting moves in tandem together, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah,
seeing
love
as though
that
there's such
tag
an
team
odd
match.
pair, it seems right now. Lyra hits Tatum by accident, which sends the tag team spiraling, and it's the Kairi Sane elbow off the top rope, and the Kabuki Warriors get the win and retain their titles. But after the match, Roxanne Perez comes out after and beats up Lyra Valkyria really bad and jumps on her arm on the turnbuckle a few times, really injures it. She gets taken away in a stretcher and put into an ambulance, so we'll see what happens with that. But right after this, we have a throw-in match, which has to do a little bit with the back and forth we saw in the backstage segment between Fallon Henley and Blair Davenport.
Okay.
Back and forth match between the two. It's really a back and forth match the whole way through. Blair is focusing on Fallon's arm mainly, but it was Saul Ruka interfering that helps Fallon Henley get the victory off Blair Davenport, which is a big win for her, really.
Yeah, that's a solidifying win for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Then it's Thea Hale backstage, and she's actually asking JC Jane and Nyx for their help and backup for Kiana James.
Interesting, yeah.
And her little sidekick over there. But they deny. They deny. They're all part of Chase
They
U,
said,
but there seems to be a rift going on between JC Jane and Nyx and Thea Hale, and it's really coming to a head here. But then after that, it goes backstage to Gigi Dolan with Ava, and Ariana Grace comes in, and she denies a match with Gigi because she's like, you guys can fight tonight and I want to fight you.
Right.
But she actually denies the match with Gigi, but she agrees. If she wins, she gets to turn Gigi into a lady.
Okay, so there's some motivation
this
there.
This match is going to happen, she's saying, but if she wins and beats Gigi Dolan, she's going to turn her into Miss America as well.
Okay.
And it's going to be more of a Miss America style Gigi than this punk rock style Gigi that we see.
The rebel style that we're seeing.
And then another backstage segment, Sean Spears very quickly just says he's going to teach Ridge Holland how to embrace his rage. Cut to No Quarter Catch Crew. Charlie Dempsey. They're all out there. Charlie Dempsey is now the new Heritage Cup champ, but they say something very weird in this segment. They say that any member of the Catch Crew can defend the cup.
Okay, so it's not just on Dempsey then.
Yeah, they did this thing when he won the cup, where when he was going against Noam Dar didn't know who he was facing until he got to the ring. That's No Quarter Catch Crew's thing. Okay. Is you don't know who you're fighting until you get to the ring. So the same goes with the cup, they're saying. It goes along with the whole theme, I guess. But out comes William Regal. He describes exactly how important this cup is to him and how it's prestigious, and how it needs to be defended with honor. And I think because Dempsey kind of won it in a little bit of an unhonorable way with some interference, I think that's why he said he has their eye on them. But this was kind of eye-opening. Charlie Dempsey takes the mic and says he will defend the cup better than William Regal ever did.
His own
dad, which
doesn't
crazy.
care. And you could kind of see here that I did see this segment, and you can kind of see here that inside William Regal's loving this. He's pumped for his son right now. And
even when Charlie Dempsey said it, he snickered a little bit, like he was kind of goofy and goofing off that he was, doing something with his dad on stage.
They're loving this moment right now.
And the crowd was chanting, "That's your father," which was kind of funny too. It was kind of funny.
That
but
is cool.
We're at main event time.
Nice.
We're at main event time. It is Carmelo Hayes versus Tony D'Angelo for the chance at the NXT Championship match versus Ilya Dragunov. And this is a back and forth match from the start. We got two heavy hitters here, Carmelo Hayes and the Don, Tony D'Angelos. Carmelo gets knocked out of the ring, but gets caught by his security guards like a princess. I thought that was kind of a cool moment I wanted to note down. Carmelo turns the page.
Melo, having at it.
After this, puts the Don in an arm submission, but Tony counters to the turnbuckle. They battle back and forth with punches, a huge side buster by Tony D, high impact moves by Tony D constantly, just high impact. Carmelo goes back to the armbar submission. It seems he's really trying to work on that arm. Hayes being a clever fighter, but Tony sticking to his high impact moves. So you get the clever fighter with quickness versus the high impact wrestler.
Gotcha. It's a nice mix there.
Yes, Melo ends up hitting the first 48 out of nowhere, taking control of this match. All of a sudden, Trick Williams' music hits and distracts Carmelo. So he's looking for Trick to come out, and, you know, it's just the Don pulling his strings and distracting Carmelo.
Doing what has to be done.
Which leads to the forget about it for the
Best
1,
finishing move
2,
name ever.
3.
Forget about it.
And the Don says he has a present for him. He actually gets on the mic afterwards and he actually apologizes for the way things went down.
Hey,
you know, like a true classy Don.
Absolutely.
And he says, you know, I got a surprise for you. And Trick Williams' music hits one more time, and out comes Trick through the crowd into the ring, beats up Carmelo a little bit, hits his security a little bit, and Carmelo goes, you know, into the backstage area, and that's the end of that.
I guess you could say he whooped that Trick.
He did. And it's funny because, you know, Ilya Dragunov has been trolling Carmelo saying, whoop that Mello.
Oh, has
whoop
he?
that Mello.
I see. Yeah. Well,
great
he
NXT Roadblock. I give it 5 stars. Awesome matches, awesome build-up. They're doing really good. It's leading up to the next Stand and Deliver pay-per-view that's coming up in the weekend of WrestleMania.
For sure. And that's going to end this segment of NXT on the Source Wrestling Podcast. And as we continue, we'd like to thank you once again for listening and sticking with us. We are going to end the show by covering AEW Dynamite from 3/6/24, and what an event this was. A whole rebranding of AEW and Dynamite, all new logos, new everything, new ramp setup, you name it. We're gonna hop right in. Let's go. And as we start this episode of AEW Dynamite, we pan to the stage, and they brought the tunnels back. And for those of you who don't know, the 2 tunnels, they represent this. The left tunnel is where all the heels, the bad guys, are coming out. And the right tunnel is all your baby faces, all your good guys. You know, I just wanted to make note of that. So, brand new season of Dynamite starts here. They're in Duluth, Georgia. Whole new intro, new everything. And it starts with Tony Schiavone. He's in the middle of the ring here, and he introduces whose house? Swerve's house. He's introducing Swerve Strickland. Swerve comes out to a great reaction from the crowd, and he grabs a mic, and he's disappointed. Mike, Swerve is disappointed. He could not get the job done, and how couldn't he be? Right,
might have been his own fault.
Right, he had it made. He had the title in his hands, you know, to be the first African-American AEW World Champion, and unfortunately that did not happen. We talked about it on the Revolution coverage, and the thing is here, Swerve's being really hard on himself right now. He's he's saying, you guys cheer for me, you chant my name, you know, that you do the whose house and all that, and I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know if I deserve to be here. I don't know if I deserve to be a champion. You know, I make you guys all these promises, and I can't come through on him. So Swerve is really, really, he's down on himself.
But he hits the 180 there.
He does, yeah. It comes back, and because the crowd's chanting for him really hard now, and Schiavone is even, egging him along, and then we get some whose house, Swerve's house. Enter Samoa Joe. And he comes out, saying Swerve's making a lot of claims that, he could have won this match and so on and so forth. But, he says he wants the people to see a real champion. And that's why he's out there to grace them with his presence. And, the thing is here, Samoa Joe did win, so, you know, he can kind of talk the smack when it comes to that.
Yeah, he comes out very cocky, very confident.
He does, and as he should be, he's the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And in the midst of this, the Undisputed Kingdom's music hits, and they come out now. We get Adam Cole. He's asking if everyone's ready for a story time with Adam Cole, baby. And, you know, he's getting booed out of the house. You know, he shouldn't be out here right now. But what he's getting at is he's saying that Samoa Joe is the champion because the Undisputed Kingdom has allowed that to happen. And I don't really know about that.
They did have a hand in him winning the title. So
they did, but
still,
still,
make sense.
You know, yeah, it does. Just not a huge fan of this faction here. And
but I feel at this moment they're finally coming into something. I feel like at this
Something
moment when I
makes
saw
sense.
them on that stage, it was like, okay, they got the tag titles, they got the international title now.
Yeah, right.
They're
stacking some gold.
Because I kind of felt before this, like I was like, are they actually like following through on what they said in the beginning? I thought that they kind of forgot that.
The credibility had to be there.
It wasn't a thing anymore at one point.
Right.
I didn't see much of it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But now they're back. They have the gold.
It's back. It's strong, and they're saying they're going to add more.
Yeah,
is what they're getting at.
And my only hope, guys, is that they do collect all the gold, and it's MJF that returns. And ruins it all.
Ruins it all like they ruined it all for him.
That's the only way I accept this.
That's long game, end game type brainstorming for sure. And now the thing that happens here is Swerve's like, okay, well, you know what? You guys got all this talk. Why don't we have a tag team match then? Why don't we have a tag team match where it's Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland versus the Undisputed Kingdom? All right. And Kingdom's trying to push it for next week. They're not trying to have this right now.
Oh, they said that they do things on their terms.
Right, yeah.
They're the ones that call the shots.
Exactly.
Enter.
It's Tony Schiavone again.
Yep.
And he's saying he's getting word from Tony Khan that this match is happening now. So, boom, we have a tag team match to start the night. It is Swerve Strickland and AEW World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe versus the Undisputed Kingdom. And now we had some really cool moments in this match. There was also some uncertainty with Samoa Joe and Swerve being a tag team, and it showed throughout the match. There was some animosity there, but somehow, some way, they managed to just put it all aside for a night, and they get it done. Swerve hits the Swerve Stomp on Bennett, house call on Matt Taven, and then proceeds to finish this off with the JML
It seemed like
driver.
It was all Swerve Strickland.
It was.
And it seemed Samoa Joe was really pissed about that.
Yeah, he was. And he came in and, you know, did what he had to do at times. But it was all Swerve. This was Swerve showing off and showing you that he can go and that he is worth this championship opportunity that he had for sure. Your winners are Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. And after this match, it's Wardlow coming out, heading to the ring. And Joe actually chokes out Swerve from behind. So there goes the end of that partnership. It's over. It was very short.
I thought that was a nice touch, but I'm going to be real with you guys. The entire time that this match was going out, I thought it was a tag team title match.
No, it was not an ROH tag team title match.
I was like, oh, wow. And then when Swerve won, I literally turned to my friend and I was like,
oh, no.
Holy crap. Swerve and Samoa Joe are the tag team champions now, and then nothing was awarded to them, and I was like, oh.
Nope, no tag team.
Did they specify that it was a non-title match or anything?
Yeah, they never said anything about it being for the ROH tag team
But they
titles.
never said it wasn't either, right?
Never said it wasn't.
Okay, so that's
never
why I was
said it
confused,
wasn't. It was just a tag team match.
No, but I feel like in WWE, they say that.
They do. It's a non-title match.
This
yeah,
is
right.
a non-title match.
That's the
wasn't
difference
said,
there.
so I was like, holy moly. Like,
imagine that
would have been
team.
a much cooler scenario, but apparently they are building this kingdom, so let it build, I guess.
Yep, let it build. After that, we go backstage with Renee. She's back with Hook now, and Chris Jericho's there as well, and he's saying that Chris Jericho, his first match in the company, AEW, was against Hook's father. It was against Taz, and Taz then dumped Jericho on his head in this match, and he said he's never forgotten that. Jericho doesn't really see the appeal in Hook at that time, he says, until last Sunday when he dumped Jericho on his head, and Jericho actually fist bumps Hook and walks away. Cut to the Young Bucks, the EVPs. They're saying they have 2 announcements, and they're about to start announcing and revealing these announcements, and they say, you know what, it's going to be better if we just do it in the ring instead. So that is cut until later. Match number 2 of the night. It's the FTW Championship match. It is the Handsome Devil Hook versus Brian Cage, and this was a banger. This, I think, was
Hook is growing on me.
I'm
At
telling
first,
you, man.
I told you, I was like,
same
who's this
here.
kid?
Same here. I was like, who is this punk kid? You know what I mean? Just because you're the son of Taz doesn't mean, nah, that's all aside now. Hook is the real deal. I like him as FTW champion. It's a nice tribute to his father as well. But this match was dope. No rules. It was FTW rules. So, you know, weapons were out there. We actually had thumbtacks. We had Hook and Brian Cage going through thumbtacks. Yeah. And, you know, it was brutal. I've never seen either of them take bumps like that. So props to those dudes for getting that done. And Hook was still calm, cool, and collected about it. He ends up retaining his FTW championship here and choking out Brian Cage. What a match. And after the Gates of Agony jump the ring, they lay out Hook, but here comes Chris Jericho with Floyd to make the save. We then go backstage to Tony Khan, and he's announcing that the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be vacated and a tournament will be held. And Renee's then here with the best friends. Chuck Taylor still isn't cleared to go, but Orange Cassidy and Trent will be taking part in this tournament, Mike, and representing for the best friends. So Orange Cassidy already has another chance to get some kind of gold, and this time it's tag team gold, which he has not got to do yet.
Well, would love to see it happen.
Absolutely. Match number 3 of the night. It is Killswitch of the Patriarchy versus Matt Maynard.
Which I thought was needed. We haven't seen Killswitch.
We have not seen him in a singles match in a while, yes. It needed to be done. All that aside, this was an absolute squash, a pummeling. Killswitch, big choke slam, hits the extinction. Maynard is already done at that point, but Killswitch was not. He then hit a second extinction, and he finally pins him. He ends the match. Your winner of this bout is Killswitch. And after that, Daniel Garcia then charges Killswitch for a little bit of revenge from Revolution, but gets outnumbered by the Patriarchy. Nick Wayne hits the Wayne's World, but out of nowhere, it's Adam Copeland running out of the tunnel. Edge, Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him, he's back, and he's attacking the entire Patriarchy on the ramp. Copeland then throws Killswitch off the stage through a table. You know, it's really cool to see Copeland back, and he's coming for.
It gets better though.
Yes, he's obviously looking for
real juicy
for Christian Cage, and you know, Christian's just running away now. They're chasing after him in the back, and then Christian Cage steals a car. Why is he?
I saw him throw that guy out of the car.
Why is he committing Grand Theft Auto on AEW Dynamite?
It was a nice touch.
It was so cool.
But then Adam Copeland says
what we never expected. He says that not only is he coming for Christian Cage, not only do they have a match coming up in Toronto where they're both from, their home country. It's going to be an I Quit match, guys. And this match is going to be devastating. It's going to be brutal. Adam Copeland is coming for revenge, and hopefully he's going to be walking out with that TNT title when it's all said and done. And if he can make the perfect father, the patriarch, Christian Cage, say, "I quit." Now we get another vignette backstage. It's Renee Paquette. She's back there with Kyle O'Reilly now. And she's talking to Kyle O'Reilly. He's admitting he thought he'd never wrestle again, to be on AEW now, to be cleared and get a second chance. He's really, really pumped for that, and he's grateful. And he's also saying that he has nothing but love and respect for the Undisputed Kingdom. So will Kyle O'Reilly be joining that faction soon? I guess we just stay tuned and let it ride out.
Yep.
And after this, it's Tony Schiavone again. He's welcoming in the EVPs, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and he's bringing up the ass kicking that they took on Sunday. And Nick is just like, you know what? No, you got to go. We're not talking about this. Tony Schiavone Schiavone is out, and they're saying that Darby and Sting cheated. It wasn't fair, but there's something that they can never take away from the Young Bucks, is that they ended Sting's career forever. That's what they're claiming, and also they announced that the Bucks have also entered themselves into the tag title tournament. So we get the EVPs now. That's going to make things pretty interesting. And they have 2 announcements now. So this is another one here. They're saying Hangman, crossed the line by putting his hands on the referees at Revolution, and he's suspended indefinitely, is what they're saying. And now they bring up the topic of Kenny Omega. They're saying he's missing dates for no good reason, all this stuff. And obviously he's been deathly ill. That's why he's not there. And they're saying that he's fired from the Elite now. Kenny Omega is no longer part of the Elite. And during this, Eddie Kingston then shows up, and he gives them the middle finger. He throws Kingston then throws the fine money at Nick and Matt Jackson. Matt then low blows him, and the Young Bucks hit that EVP trigger.
They're all about that low blow.
All about that low blow. Ric Flair, they're low blowing everybody. They hit the EVP trigger, and then wow, out of nowhere, it's the Rainmaker Okada. He makes his debut in AEW. It's huge. There's money.
That's the debut.
The debut, yes. He was just recently signed. WWE had some serious interest in him, and he had some mutual interest back, saying that he was really, really interested in maybe being a part of WrestleMania. But how it happened is Tony Khan locked him up. Okada is now here. There's money falling from the sky. He's side by side now with Eddie Kingston. And just when you think that this could be a cool group or a cool team, he then grabs Eddie and hits that Rainmaker, basically claiming that Okada is the newest member of the Elite. Next match of the night, we have Chris Statlander versus Riho. Pretty cut and dry here. Some decent spots. I'm not a big fan of Riho yet. Maybe she's going to grow on me. I do like Statlander. We had a German suplex by Statlander, and she looks for one more at the end of this match, and Riho just rolls her up for the win. Your winner is Riho here, and she's rolling into whoever her next opponent is that she's going to be facing.
A little bit of a build.
Yeah, absolutely. And backstage now, we get Stokely Hathaway. He's back there with Renee and Willow Nightingale. Stokely saying that Statlander is one of the best. She should just listen, though. Like, next week, it's Willow versus Riho. And, she's getting a chance here. She's saying that, she's going to be the next TNT champion is what Willow's saying. She's calling out Julia Hart right here and right now. But she's got to get through Riho first, in order to do that. And we'll see. But next, it's Tony Schiavone back in the ring again, and out comes Darby Allin. Darby Allin said he's going to fight Jay White next week at Big Business, but after that, he says he's going to climb Mount Everest, guys. Darby Allin, what is wrong with you? And he says he doesn't know if he's even going to be coming back. So he's putting it all on the line to go after this match with Switchblade. Of course, he's been training for months to go climb Mount Everest, and that's what Darby Allin wants to do right now.
Interesting segment.
Very interesting, yes, and it's not the first time.
I don't think we've ever had a man say, we better get this match in because I don't know if this is going to be my last match ever because I'm about to climb Mount Everest.
And I don't know if I'm coming back.
Yeah.
But,
and how does AEW and Tony Khan feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Is his contract up? Is he allowed to do this?
I don't know. But all I know is that he's been training for months. And what he said was he's lived more in the last 2 years than he has in his entire life. And if this is the end for him, so be it, he said. And Darby Allin, my hat is off to you. Good luck with this. Needless to say, we then get the Bang Bang Gang, and Jay White is ranting a little bit about Revolution, says he doesn't know, know who Darby Allin would be without Sting, and nobody would even think less of Darby if he didn't wrestle him next week. And there's a lot worse things that can happen than just a couple of scratches, is what he's getting at. And White has an idea how he can preserve Darby instead of fight him. Darby can hang with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Darby then cuts off Jay White and says he doesn't believe the hype and all this. He's saying if White is as good as he thinks he is, he'll come alone next week and not with the whole Scissor Gang, not with all of his friends, so on and so forth. And White tries to step to Darby Allin, but Darby just holds him at bay with that Sting baseball bat that he came out with. And that was a pretty interesting segment.
Looks like he's carrying the torch with the bat.
Exactly, yeah. Someone's got to do it, and why not have it be Darby? And we're tuning over to House of Black now, and they're saying they're not afraid to set Mark Briscoe ablaze. The House of Black will inflict pain upon him on Saturday on Collision.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, Mark is here now looking like a crackhead. He's looking all cracked out. He's crazy. He's responding like, am I supposed to be scared? You know what I mean? He says he fears nobody, fears no evil. And here comes Jay Lethal now. And he's going to back this man up. He's going to back up Mark Briscoe. And he says he's bringing Jeff Jarrett too. So that's pretty interesting. Now, this match, main event match, this was honestly, it was really, really close, but it was just a little short of Ospreay and Takeshita. This is Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, versus his good buddy Kyle Fletcher in just a friendly, let's kick each other's ass kind of match. And that's what we got. We got an incredible 5-star, every star. I can't say it enough. This match was so good. Having Ospreay here is really, really going to change the game for AEW for sure.
Looks that way.
Yeah, and Fletcher, though, he's keeping up with Ospreay. We got big move after big move, running around, jumping off of stuff, the reversals, the flipping, everything is just on point. And there was one point in this match where I honestly was not sure if Ospreay was going to pull this out. He's hitting major moves, and we're just getting kickouts, we're getting counters, this and that, and a really cool standing Spanish fly that got a 2 count. Will then hits the Os Cutter, another 2 count, and he's setting up for it. You know what's happening. He's setting up for the finish, and Fletcher is asking for it. Will Ospreay hits that hidden blade, and you can count to 20 on that one. Ospreay delivers 1, 2, 3. Your winner, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay, leaving his mark for sure. That theme song hits. Hey, Chris Sabansky, how you doing? We can go to the last episode we just did, and you can hear about that Will Ospreay theme song.
Will Ospreay's theme music.
Yeah, man. And, the music's playing, crowd is pumped, and out of nowhere, this really caught me by surprise. It's Bryan Danielson. His music hits, and all we can say is that if this is the next rivalry we're getting for Will Ospreay, then it's going to be really, really, really good. Will Ospreay versus the American Dragon is now a possibility, and that could be a 10-star match if they want it to be. Final segment here. Danielson is out there staring down Ospreay, man to man, and the show fades away, and you really sit here and think this match is a dream match. We thought we never would be able to see this match, and now with Bryan Danielson coming out and staring down Will Ospreay, we have a chance to see this match, and that's going to end the AEW Dynamite portion of this show. Stay tuned. This is the Source Wrestling Podcast. And before we go, guys, we're going to end the show the way we always do, with a little bit of On This Day in Wrestling History. Yeah.
This day in wrestling history, we have our wrestling birthdays that I always go through. First one, I'm not too sure of, Genba Hirayanagi.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
Okay. Second one is Melina.
Nice.
Third is Tiger Ali Singh.
Oh, we just talked about him on another episode.
We
I
did.
believe, as
We
well.
did. Rick Steiner.
Oh, the dog face.
His
gremlin.
birthday today.
That's awesome.
And Nikita Koloff as well.
Yes, a very well-respected legend in professional wrestling. And on this day in pro wrestling history, March 9th, 1996, ECW, the Big Ass Extreme Bash, is held in Philly, the home of ECW. This show was the last appearance of Cactus Jack Mick Foley in the ECW before leaving to become Mankind in the then WWF. Foley defeated Mikey Whipwreck with a pile driver on a chair, and after the match was given a standing ovation from the crowd before dancing his way out of the arena with Stevie Richards and, of course, the Blue Meanie.
And on this day in wrestling history in 2009, on Monday Night Raw, John Bradshaw Layfield defeated CM Punk to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship, making him the 10th Grand Slam champion in WWE history. He would lose the belt the following month at WrestleMania 25 and then retire from being an active wrestler.
This is going to end our show today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, please follow the show. It helps us a lot. Please rate the show. It also is a massive, massive help. And this is the Source Wrestling Podcast. We are available on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Once again, you are listening to The Source, WWE, AEW, All Things Wrestling Podcast with Joe
and
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us talk to ya.
Let us talk to ya.
Let us talk to you next time, dummy. Yeah.